Important.
I needed them too.
Brandon, are we live? Oh, we are. See, I love my production guy. Oh, by the way, we're live, guys. Alexa off. All right. See, I love it.
You have a woman that listens to you this
Only
time.
Only one. Right there. No. Yeah. Well, you kind of like were late.
I
to
was
this
late,
whole thing.
and
so,
I'm like
my show
yeah.
starts like 9 a.m.
You know that if you're on time, you're late, and that's my motto.
And what happens when you're late?
What happens when you're late to something that I do? It's you get the wrath, but when I'm late, it's unforeseen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, you had a reason to be late this time.
I did. I was on 6:35 coming here, and obviously when you have 30 cars in front of you with their taillights on,
You kind of start to slow
you
down.
kind of start to slow down too. So I did, and this young guy behind me just like whacked me, and I saw him coming too, and I couldn't go forward, so I went left or right because I didn't want to hit the car in front of me, and he smacked right into me.
Ooh.
So we pulled over,
Uh-huh.
and I felt so bad. He was shaking, and like, he probably was about 6'3", like 300 pounds, but like, you could tell he was a baby. And he's like, I think I'm gonna call my fiance, and I'm like, should we call the police first?
Right. Probably the first one we should call.
And
Well,
I'm like-
technically they don't want you to call him, right? And the police don't want you to call him if it's not like, if it's just a fender bender.
Well, I said to him, I was in a hurry, obviously.
Yeah.
And
Well, you had a really important place to be.
I did. I mean,
Right.
your hair,
Jam
first of all,
section.
your hair looks amazing, right?
Oh,
I
nice.
just want to tell you that right now.
I appreciate it. I worked hard this morning. A little blow dry,
I know,
some
right?
thickening.
But they're going back and forth. I love you. No, I love you. No, I love you. And I'm sitting here throwing up a little bit in my mouth. And he goes, I'm so sorry I didn't tell you I loved you before I left. And I was like, so does she have your insurance card?
Right. We need insurance. We need to get this thing moving. Let's take a picture of the driver's
Yeah.
license, insurance. Let's go.
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
all right. So I mean, I've been where he's been. I've been in that where I've rear-ended somebody, texting and driving or whatever when I was younger. And so, we didn't call the police, but I got his insurance information, and I said, I'm gonna go get it estimated. It's probably just the bumper.
Yeah.
If you want to pay cash, so it doesn't go on your, But I got all his information too,
Right.
and he sent me a picture of his social security card, which was stupid, but
What? Oh my God.
just in case
He
he
is
skips
a young
out on my
baby.
bumper.
Right.
So I apologize.
No, it's okay. I'm sure everybody was hanging on, waiting for this 9 a.m. start to the Bob Mortgage Jam session, but we're here. And are you ready?
I mean, the Ninja Ginger's always ready.
On this jam session, Jameson Olsen, the Ninja Ginger, stops by.
I do.
Hey guys, I'm Bob Johnson, and this is the 56th episode of the Bob Mortgage Jam
It took you
session.
56 episodes to get me on.
Jameson, you've been on once before, early on. You might have been on one of the first 5
I took
jam
over your
sessions,
show.
and you've taken over
I
one
did.
of
I took
one of
over
them.
one of your show with
You
with
did.
your wife.
So, yeah, you've been on one in the very beginning. You actually ran one of my shows, and now you're on the 56th episode of the jam session.
Can't beat that.
Well, you can, but it's okay. You could have your show. I don't know. I just want to be the guest. It's too hard to put these things together.
Yeah.
I just show up and let you do all
It's
the work.
stressful.
No, it's not stressful at all. It's not stressful at all because the great thing is we just have a conversation.
I know, I like it. We have conversations all the time too.
We do, and I love the picture we posted this morning.
That was
that
funny.
was pretty cool.
My face is priceless.
Yeah, I don't know what I was
I've
doing.
never
I mean,
seen your neck go so long. Like I meant
I got a long neck. I mean, it's I don't know.
I know,
I
right?
got a long torso.
You do.
Yes, and childbearing hips.
All men should.
Okay. Anyway, that's way off topic, which I'm sure this thing's gonna happen. Is we're gonna be way off topic on a lot of things, but I'm excited to have you here.
Thank you. I
It
appreciate that.
did take a little bit of time to get you back in, but it's not that you've been absent from Team Bob Mortgage. You've been very active with us, and we certainly appreciate
I am your sidekick.
everything that you guys do for us. But okay, so we got a couple of cameras rolling, actually 4 of them right now. Right, so that one, everybody knows you.
That one is mine.
That one's yours over there. What's up?
Hey guys.
There's several other ones that not everybody may know you on this side of the room. So let's go with from a 30,000 foot view, macro view, like high level type stuff. Give us the bio, because I want to get into a lot of specifics here, but give everybody the bio. on Jameson.
When I
Olsen.
started,
Just high level, 30,000 foot view
30,000 foot view
of you.
of me,
Yeah, of you.
like born and raised.
Sure, whatever
Okay.
you want to do.
Born and raised in, I don't even know if you know this.
I probably don't. I have done a lot of research on you just to make sure it's okay to be on my thread, but.
Born and raised in a small town in Pennsylvania. A lot of people don't think that I'm a country girl, but I am by heart.
Ah.
It's called Greenville, Pennsylvania. Hi, girls and guys. Gville, what?
Country.
Country.
Okay. All right.
We used to go corning and cow tipping. So.
Oh yeah, no, I grew up cow tipping all the time.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
We had, I think we have 3 or 4 stoplights in our hometown,
Uh-huh.
and I love going back there.
Typically, the sign that says entering and exiting is on the same sign.
Yeah, pretty much. No, but I mean, your next door neighbor could belong to the school district next to you. That's how small these boroughs are. And
Okay.
yeah, and I love going back there. Some of my best friends are still back there.
Uh-huh.
They keep me grounded,
That's good.
so they really do. They don't really care who I know, what I do. Can you still light a bonfire and do a keg stand? So those are your best friends.
Okay, well, I'm taking back to a story and it's recent, just happened this weekend, but go ahead.
You did a keg stand?
No, I didn't do a cake stand, but I had the privilege of going and visiting some of my very, very, very dear and best friends that we all had not been under the same roof for like 24 years. They were friends of mine from elementary and middle school and my first year of high school, and then I left the Valley, left McAllen, but we have always, stayed in touch, but we reconnected and we said, you know what, we're all kind of, in the mid 40s, let's get together, let's just go have a guy weekend. And we went down to Marble Falls and just had a great time just seeing. I mean, you pick up, right? I mean,
Right where you left
it
off.
doesn't matter when they're that quality of people and you're just that connected. We just picked up like it was when we were back 7, 8, 9 years old, and belly laughs. I mean, my wife would tell you, I laugh, but I don't belly laugh a lot,
Right.
and we just rolled the whole time, and it was fun. So having those friends around you is important. It really is.
All of them, some of them married each other, some of them married people from the school district next to us, some of them married people from, not many, but some, married outside of Greenville, but yeah, so I go home, I'm pretty much the
Okay.
only single one,
Okay.
which is
Why is
great.
that?
I mean, but you know what, like, they're just like the best third wheel ever, Jameson. That's you.
The best third wheel.
The best third wheel ever, because I don't need to be babysat. I like to have a good time.
Okay.
And they all have kids now, and I'm Aunt JMO, and
Yep.
we love to go to a little winery up there that closes at 9 p.m. So we go, and it's just a good time.
Well, that's good. It closes at 9 because nothing good happens after midnight.
No, and it's funny because sometimes we'll go with the husbands, sometimes the husbands will come get us. Uber doesn't exist there, so yeah.
It does. It's a horse and carriage. I mean, it
We
takes a
have
while to
Amish.
get there.
I mean, we have the Amish people. You pull up to the
Okay.
gas station, and they have Amish poles for them to tie the horses. Like, you think I'm playing.
Okay.
So yeah, and then we go back, and we've been drinking for a couple hours, and the kids are just so excited. Aunt JMO's in town, right? So of course, my mom's a dentist
Right.
in my hometown, and I'm always,
hence the advice on my braces.
hence the advice on your braces.
Yes. Okay.
And so I always like to brush their teeth.
I do at least 3 times a day.
Right, but I've been drinking for 3 hours, right? So Aunt JMO, brush
I'm
our
not sure where
teeth.
this conversation's going, guys. I apologize in advance.
So anyways, that's my hometown, and then I went to college at Duquesne University in downtown Pittsburgh
Okay.
on an athletic scholarship and on track and field.
Track and field.
And I was getting a lot of different offers outside of track and different sports, and track was giving me a pretty good deal there.
Like
so.
the 40-yard dash or like the
Like the discus.
4 mile. Okay, the discus.
But I did the hammer and weight, and I wouldn't do the shot put because it left a mark on your neck, and my skin's so sensitive, and it always looked like I had hickey on my neck. So I wouldn't do the shot put. So yeah, so I did that. Hated it because of my coach. I'm a full believer just because you're All-American this, All-American that does not make you a good coach, guys.
Oh gosh, no.
Yeah. So after my sophomore year, I quit.
Okay.
and started getting student loans. And and I was in a sorority for 4 years. I was Alpha Phi. Your wife and I are sorority sisters.
Alpha Phi, yes. I remember some photos that y'all took, or however you do your
The
Alpha
Ivy
Phi
League,
deal or
yes.
whatever. Yeah.
You know, I always had good work ethic in college, so I always had a full-time job and I went to school full-time.
Uh-huh.
And my last year, my junior year, I interned. There were 6 nightclubs in Pittsburgh, and all of them were owned by a guy named Tom Jason. And he had an in-house marketing firm where I was the intern to the assistant executive marketing director.
Okay.
So then my senior year, they offered me the position as the assistant executive marketing director. And so
Assistant Executive Marketing Director. Wow, these are good titles.
I know, right?
Right.
For like a 23-year-old.
Right.
And I overloaded my classes on Tuesdays and Thursdays and then worked full-time during the week. So, which was a blessing and a curse.
Well, you know what? It definitely was a blessing because I see it even today.
Yeah.
Right? Your work ethic is amazing. I mean, I know the word is like hustle, but that's like the sexy version of it. It's just really hard work. And you do. I mean, that's something that is something I get attracted to from a business perspective because I want people to know how hard we have to work to accomplish everything
Right.
that we're working to accomplish. Not that we have accomplished, but we're working to accomplish, right? And you do that. And I I don't care what the title is, you just work.
I tell people if they don't know me, and I push paper for a moving company. I'm your friend in the moving business.
Right.
All right. So after college, I moved to Florida for a boy. I would highly never recommend moving anywhere for a boy, because that didn't work out.
But Florida was great to you.
I guess. I moved to Florida with 2 bags and a carry-on and a frog, my pet frog, and that was May 2006.
Okay.
And by January 2007, we were broken up, and
Okay, that was a quick relationship.
that was a quick. Well, we were together all throughout college. It was one of those
Okay,
things,
gotcha.
So that's how I ended up in Florida, and my dad wouldn't let me come home. He said, "You're not coming home with your tail between your legs. Get it together, and if you want to come home after that, so be it." And
Okay.
I got it together, so I thought. But what a lot of people don't know is that no one would hire me when I graduated college because the economy was taking a hit at that
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, "You just have too much experience, and we can't hire at a level like that." And
For an assistant marketing executive
no, I
director.
was interviewing everywhere because no one would hire me.
Okay.
No one would hire me entry level because they thought I'd quit because I'd get bored.
Right.
No one would hire me at a higher level because they didn't want to spend the money at that time.
Yep.
So I ended up going into a financial firm, and what a lot of people don't know is that I lost my job after that.
So that's something like a fun fact.
Fun fact, I lost
Fun
my
fact,
job,
okay.
and right when I had the breakup, or bad breakup, and a lot of people don't know that I actually had no money and lived in my car with my cat and my cat litter in the front seat.
Really?
Yeah, I did that for about 3 or 4 months,
Okay.
and saved my money,
Okay.
which was pennies. I was making $12 an hour at that time.
Wow.
Yeah, as a college graduate.
Okay.
And it was humbling experience.
Yeah.
I was in the best shape of my life though because I wanted to watch TV, so I would always be at LA Fitness in the evening time. So LA Fitness is
So
where I
wait,
showered and everything.
Okay, so living in the car, $12 an hour, but you had enough to go to LA Fitness.
Well, LA
because-
Fitness, I worked part-time in their kids club in the evenings to make extra money, so I had a free membership. So I ended up, you gotta think when you're
No, I mean,
You
you gotta
know?
be resourceful, so that gave you the opportunity to work out, to watch TV, and to have a good clean
And
shower.
so the kids club was open from 4 to 8, and when I got off work at 5, I went straight there and worked from like 5:15 to 8 in the kids club, and I got a free membership.
That is that's truly awesome story. I did not know that, and I didn't think you were going to be able to stump me because we've talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So that is very humbling to kind of have to go through that. And I mean, do you go back to that place at all in your mind or your heart or whatever that continues to push and drive you to where you don't fall back to that place? I mean, do you use that to motivate you?
Yeah, I never want to live in my car again.
Right.
And I would really have to be in bad shape to go back to my parents' house. I mean, I would have to be in really bad shape. Not that I wouldn't love living with my parents again.
Sure.
My mom, but I love you, Mom.
I met your dad. That's pretty cool, man. That's pretty cool.
But I mean, I really would have to be in a bad shape to do that. But I would exhaust every avenue first. And so, yeah, I mean, I'd go back to that place all the time. And it's afforded me a lot of stuff, a lot of opportunities. For example, last fall, I was the keynote speaker at the Leaders Recognizing Youth Leaders National Convention.
Okay.
Last fall, because I actually, at a bar, started talking to one of the board of directors, and we were just talking, and he ended up telling my story, and he was like, "You're exactly what they need to see." So that was a pretty cool experience to be able to talk to teens, everything from 7th grade to seniors.
So 7th grade to senior teens, and you got to tell your story. So from that beginning, car, showers at
cat litter in the front
cat
seat.
litter in the front seat, showers at Lifetime, to where you are now, which you got a huge responsibility for All My Sons Moving and Storage. I mean, it's a big responsibility that you have, and what you're responsible for, and the growth and the revenue generation and managing. I mean, you manage a lot of partnerships as well, from the Cowboys to SMU to things that happen in Florida, right? I mean, from Miami. I mean, there's a lot of different sports things that you have to manage for the company.
I do. I started with the company 5 years ago in South Florida. I took a $50,000 pay cut to come to All My Sons, because I was the director of marketing for a national law firm. Okay. And you
in a law firm is dangerous.
Let
me just be honest with you on that.
It wasn't, I loved the people I worked with, but it just wasn't my cup of tea.
Yeah. It's like a bull in a china closet. I don't know what's going to happen.
The bar, so I took a cut, and I ended up just being an assistant to one of the presidents of one location. And it turned into me managing all the radio and TV and traditional advertising, and going back to my college days where I was writing radio commercials, I was buying the advertising, I was putting on the events at the nightclubs, when there's 6 feet of snow on the ground, you got to get those students out there. And
hey, Brandon, you can walk by. It's
guys, no, I want you to crawl.
She wanted some coffee, so we got to get her some coffee. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what happens when you run a live show and she shows up 15 minutes late. She still needs coffee.
I know, man.
So we're rolling here, so we're trying to make it work.
So that was really, I was okay with that, because I don't like being stressed out ever. Even though my job's a little bit stressful, I do well under pressure. Right. That's not really stress to me. Sure. So it just evolved into this. It went from one location to all of South Florida to all of Florida. Right. And then when 2016 was my last full year in Florida. In Florida, right. Where I made a huge footprint with Florida Realtors, with the associations down in South Florida, and when they ran my numbers in 2016, my last full year, they were like, "You need to come to Dallas. Would you consider moving?" Because this was the next market we had so much scale in, and we had acquired the Dallas Cowboys. That needed a little massaging.
The partnership, the moving partnership. Yep, you didn't actually buy it from Jerry.
No.
Okay, just want to make sure I understood that.
Did not buy it.
Because I needed to know who I'm sitting with.
Did not buy that. And so moved me out here in May 2017. Okay. So I've been here for a little over a year.
Which I'm very thankful that you did move here, because we've been able to develop a really great relationship. My wife, obviously, marketing and business development, doing what you do from a marketing business development standpoint, there was awesome synergy automatically. And then I just get to kind of hang along and laugh at all the awesome ideas that we come up with. As long as they're moving us forward, I'm good with it. Let's keep going. But no, it's been a great run, and I look forward to many years wherever that takes us, from DFW, Texas, and other states, because I know you guys continue to grow. Yeah, you do. You continue to expand. So before we get into more about all my sons and all that stuff, kind of give me an idea. do you like have like morning routines? Like some people get up and they work out, some people meditate, pray, just whatever. I mean, do you do anything, or are you more like me? I get up and I just start doing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, so what happens?
So my alarm goes off anywhere between 6 and 6:30, depending on when I have to be at the house.
Uh-huh.
I make my bed. First thing.
You do?
When I get out of bed, I make my bed.
Okay, good for
I
you.
read
That's
something.
one of the first things they tell you. If you want to get started and develop good habits, start with making your bed.
And then I go downstairs. I instantly let Rose all day outside.
Rose all day.
Rose all day.
It's not a cat.
That's
we know that.
my doggy.
That's your doggy. And it's a handsome one.
Oh, handsome.
Well,
she's beautiful.
Beautiful. Sorry.
Rose all day.
Yeah.
Rose all day Olsen, and actually it's on her vet paperwork.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thank you.
Wave to the camera. You're on camera, everybody.
So then I, feed her while she's being fed. I check my emails. I reply to emails.
Yeah.
I have learned that I have to take a shower before getting actually into work, because if I don't, I'm like, okay, I have
You're
this amount
dirty
of
and you
time. I'm doing emails, I'm doing calls, and I'm taking calls, and then I'm like, oh my god, I gotta be out of the house in 30 minutes and I haven't taken a shower yet.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing I do in the morning time, and then I usually grab a Diet Pop from the fridge. I go upstairs.
Pop.
I turn on my.
You're definitely from up north.
I know, right? I turn on my Pandora, where I go to barbecue, hip hop barbecue, and I play some old school hip hop
barbecue.
Hip hop barbecue. That's my Pandora station. Everyone should listen to it. And
Alexa knows who that is.
Alexa, do you know hip hop barbecue? She hates me.
Yeah, she listens.
I have a few skills for that.
She has a few skills for that. Alexa, home. Yeah, I don't know if I want to hurt her
most females
skills.
hate me anyways.
Yeah.
And then I'll take phone calls while I'm getting ready. Like your wife called me this morning.
Oh, she was working this morning. I love it.
Well, she called me when I saw her phone number. I was like, maybe I should hit deny. Show her how I felt all last week.
Really?
Yeah, but so I'll take phone calls, and that's my routine. And I usually take about 3 or 4 phone calls in a 45-minute period while I'm getting ready, and then I'm out the door.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, so no, I mean, you just basically kind of like me. I mean, I just get up and start going, so there's not a whole lot of prep time. I mean, a lot of people, I know this, a lot of people will want to get their mind right. They sit there and they whether it's through meditation or prayer or whatever, and I think it's a great thing. Working out, it's a great thing. I don't know why. I don't think I'm conditioned for a lot of that stuff. I just want to get and go. Yeah. Shower, well, let's roll.
Yeah.
I get to spend time with the family. Like one of the things that we do, which I really, really enjoy and love, is, I don't know when my kids are always going to be home, just because they have volleyball and stuff like that. So they're always sometimes late because they practice late and stuff, and I work late sometimes, and so we start out our mornings with breakfast. Right, that becomes our special time. So, people have dinner time, we have breakfast time. So we'll start out with a big breakfast, and works great.
Does Jennifer cook that?
She does, yeah.
Nice.
Either Jennifer or I, but mostly Jenna. She does. She likes to get up. She likes to get up, and it usually consists of eggs, bacon, some avocados, tomatoes, a little bit of hash browns.
That's I'm gonna start coming over for breakfast.
Oh, yeah. It's sorry about that, guys. Malcolm, you should know that I'm in on my Wednesday show.
From the Legends?
Yeah.
He's been trying to call me, and I feel so bad because he always calls at the worst moments, and then I forget to call him back, or he'll send me a text. And I'm like, oh, geez, I just keep forgetting. I gotta call him.
So Malcolm, I'm actually, if you're watching the live stream show, which you should be, Malcolm, you would know that I'm on my show. So morning routines, not anything fancy. Where do you draw your inspiration from?
Not wanting to live in my car again.
Okay.
You mean my drive and my hustle?
Uh-huh.
I really, it was instilled in me at a young age.
Okay.
My mom and my dad definitely were hustlers. My mom always tells the story of up until she graduated dental school, she had four different skirts, 4 different tops, 2 pairs of shoes, and she rotated them together. So it looked like she never wore the same outfit twice in 1 week.
Oh, really?
So, and my dad came from humble beginnings as well. So they really instilled a good work ethic. And, if I wanted to go to the movies for $20, it was like, all right, the rose garden needs weeded, or you
Mhm.
know, where everyone else, all my other friends was like, just like their parents were like making it rain on them, like cars. Like when I was in 8th grade, that's when pagers were big, and cell phones. I mean,
8th grade.
when I was in 8th grade, pagers became big for like high school students.
Right.
And
okay.
so my parents were like, you don't need any of that. No boy needs to call you. You don't need a cell phone. They can call the house phone and your dad can answer. Like, that's really what was going on. So yeah, and I had to work for everything. If I wanted money, then I was a 4-sport athlete, and I worked part-time at
Four-sport
I
athlete,
was a
huh?
4-sport athlete in high school, yep. And I worked part-time at the nursing home in my hometown as a dietary aide.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really been a lot of work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get bored easily, but if I'm sitting
Mhm.
and not doing anything, you know, sometimes that's great
Mhm.
and I need it, but then there's times where I'm like, I should be doing something.
Right.
But that doesn't happen often, and just because, you know, I'm always having these ideas. I mean, I got up at 1 and was writing stuff down.
So you're that way. So like, if it's on your mind, you're gonna have to
or
write
I'm
it
gonna
down.
forget it. Yep.
You know, a lot of my like I'll do the same thing. Like when I go to bed, I gotta have like it's usually my phone, and I'll just take a quick note. You know, because if I think about it, I got to get it off my mind so I could actually have a peaceful sleep. So all my sons moving in storage for 5 years. Okay, we moved to Dallas. We got this great relationship with BobMortgage that was developed early on, which actually came from the guy that just called.
Malcolm from the Legends,
Malcolm,
everybody.
He made the introduction to us. Malcolm, he's the is it president basketball operations for Texas Legends?
He's my rep. He's our rep.
I don't know.
I
don't know what the title
He's a
is,
great
Malcolm,
guy.
but he's
Great
a
guy. He's great to his customers.
And if you don't know Texas Legends, you got to go check them out. They're an amazing G League basketball.
G League? It's D League.
No, it's G.
It's D.
It's G.
It's D.
Look it up. Okay, look it up. It's G League for the Dallas Mavericks.
So is there an E and F league?
I don't know.
That is a D league. That's a feeder into the NBA. That's a D league.
Guys, I don't know. You can comment
Will
on the
you
thread.
Google that
here.
real quick
You
for
can
me?
comment on the thread.
We'll Google that real quick.
And tell me if it's a G League.
Texas Legends D league.
Or just Texas Legends. Are they the
Are they
or
D or G league? You want to put money on it?
It's my show. It's going to be the G League no matter what happens, okay? So what's the thought process with all my sons? I mean, tell them what you guys really do.
Moving and storage.
Right. Okay. All my sons moving and storage.
storage.
So what do you do? Moving and storage. Awesome.
You know, I tell everybody what differentiates us from other moving companies. You know, our motto is let our family move yours, and I'm getting goosebumps. They really, like, we live that motto.
Uh-huh.
You know, we know we're not just moving people's furniture, we're moving people's lives. And when I moved to Florida and I moved out of the house that I was in with the gentleman, I was in a domestic violence situation. And you know, I called all my sons, and I called 5 moving companies before that because I wanted to leave while he was at work. And we don't do same day moves, you don't have a budget, like, you don't have any money.
From all these companies?
Yeah, and when I called all my sons, way before I started working for them, way before, like years before, the salesperson on the other end of the line, he said to me, "Oh man, it's Dad. Hit it."
Oh, Dad.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad. We had to decline you. He said to me, I told him what was going on, and he said to me, I don't know what I would do if my daughter was in the situation that you're in and I couldn't get to you like your dad can't get to you. And he's like, hold on. Puts me on hold. He comes back to the line. He's like, we'll be there within 45 minutes. So I had less than 1,000 square foot apartment, but all the furniture was mine because, you know, when I came down, I just went to, you know, rooms to go. And
Right.
And they were there within 45 minutes, less than it was maybe an 800, 900 square foot apartment. And I look outside my window, and this literally would have filled up half a truck, half like a 26-foot truck. And the only truck they had available was an 18-wheeler. And so...
So, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So within 45 minutes, they show up with an 18-wheeler.
To move my 800 square foot apartment. And they stored it for me. I told them, I said, listen, I have $500 to my name right now. And they stored it for me for free. They took my $500.
Right.
But yeah, and so that was really
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we do.
Okay.
Everything from small apartments to $1 million homes and everything in between.
Mm-hmm.
I always say it's moving. 9 times out of 10, nothing happens. But if something does, especially if it's a referral that you give me, I want to be very transparent, and we need to fix it. So we need to know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what we do. Is we know we're not moving people's furniture, we're moving people's lives. And
You are.
when I started, I thought it was so very important that movers knew that, and
Mhm.
so I started going to dispatch and doing trainings with them.
Right.
If someone's going through a divorce, so are you. If someone's going through, a breakup, so are you. If X, Y, and Z, if they're happy, you're happy. You just got to get it done. So that's really where my inspiration comes from. Is a lot of times it's from my movers too.
Mm-hmm.
They're very special guys. Very special guys.
Yeah, I've met some of them. They do. Yeah, and from a cultural standpoint, you guys do work hard to make sure they understand that we're not moving people's furniture, we're moving people's
Right.
lives. I mean, it really is kind of not just talked about one time. I mean, it's something that you guys really talk about frequently, so that they really understand when they go out there, who it is that they're seeing, what it is that they're really, what it is that they're really doing. That's a very interesting story. It's also a fun fact that I didn't know, but it speaks to just who All My Sons Moving and Storage is. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So why do you feel like they're doing stuff and you're doing stuff with like all these sports franchises? Because we got the Dallas Cowboys, we got SMU, Rice University, University of Texas,
University of Texas,
University of Houston,
University of Houston,
Florida Panthers, Miami Dolphins, and Florida Gators. Wow, that's quite a lineup.
We've been with some that I've dropped because it really wasn't a beneficial relationship, and for many years. But if it's beneficial and we're making a return on investment, that's the best way it can be. You got to negotiate your contract well,
Right.
so you make sure you get that return, and the exposure and the branding is awesome. But you got to make sure that you're getting what you need in return too.
Was it when you got here? Was it difficult to launch in this market? Was there certain challenges with this market that's different than the Florida market? Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
So the Florida market, if you're a vendor and you're not a part of your local realtor board, no one will touch you. Like, that board validates your existence in the real estate world.
In Florida.
Okay. Right?
Yep.
Here, no one cares. So joining the board really wasn't a huge priority of mine.
Sure.
So what I did was I sunk my teeth and my nails into the movers and shakers in the vendor world, and I met with you. I can't tell you how many mortgage people I met with. And my promise was like, hey, I can't introduce you to anybody, I can't really do anything for you, but I can finance a lot, and I can give you some pretty cool opportunities, like putting your face in AT&T Stadium on the Jumbotron, or the TV on Testudos Field at the Star.
Yeah.
Your face, okay?
Yeah.
If I promise I deliver. And so I did, and a lot of people just met with me and really didn't do anything. And then I think the first thing I did with you guys to say thank you was I gave you, a title company, I think it's even a title company, tickets to a Maverick suite. I think it was the first thing we did.
Okay.
And obviously we're posting everything on Facebook, all the realtors are posting on Facebook and tagging, and I get these texts, and it was another mortgage company, and it said, oh, I see you've traded me in for BobMortgage. And I text this guy back, right? And I'm like, one, who have you introduced me to? And two, I spread the wealth, so if you do start helping me out, you might have this opportunity as well. Same thing happened with the title company a few days later when I did an event. But in Florida, when you do an event, everybody can go.
Right.
So if I'm sponsoring an event, there's probably going to be another mover there, but you just got to be confident enough. Like that doesn't matter. I'll introduce them to all my customers.
Yeah,
but
I think that's just it is lack of confidence in either relationships or their value proposition that they're putting out there, and it happens. I see it a lot, even with people that we kind of quasi partner with on some things. For me, it's just a matter of, like you said, being confident and then suffocating people with content.
Right.
I mean, we suffocate people with just what I hope is valuable content that if we're sharing things, doing things together, they're always gonna see it.
Yeah.
And then there's that perceived perceived partnership or whatever people think or feel, and it's like, what, you feel and think whatever you want. We're just working together to help each other grow, to help each other's businesses grow, and ultimately provide more value to those that we're working to impact, right? Because that's the way we look at it. We both look at it the same way. All we're looking to do is impact other people's lives, and we just do it in entertaining venues.
Yeah.
We have fun doing things, right? We know that if we can make people smile, make people laugh,
Get them a little tipsy.
right, and engage with them, then they're ultimately
they're gonna
they're gonna connect with us.
Well, the thing is too is that it's just so I can't pick and choose who I work with. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to work with several mortgage companies, several title companies. You know what I mean? Like that's just the name of the game for me.
Right.
You and I actually sponsored an event out in Arlington together back in the day, like last year sometime, right?
All right.
And I drove a realtor that said, hey, I see you're sponsoring, do you mind if I ride with you? And I said, yeah, sure. So, great realtor, and a title company introduced me to her.
Uh-huh.
And so there's another title company sponsoring that event, we did. And obviously everything's on social media again. I get a text from the title company that introduced me to that realtor and was like, never ever introduce or invite any of my realtors that I've introduced you to another event that you're doing with another title company.
Right.
And I was just, I was like, listen, I'm okay cutting ties with you right now because clearly we don't have the same business values and obviously you don't have the relationship with that realtor that you think you do. If you think one event is going to sway her from using you as a title company.
Yeah, well, it's just value proposition.
Yeah.
But so the difficulty was just finding the right partners to align with that had the same value proposition that you had and were comfortable putting themselves out there and doing things in a very big way,
and have
right?
the same
Because you need
I need
big way vision.
Yeah,
you need
they have to have the same vision for sure. And you got to. I'm a handful.
Yeah.
So for sure. So you got to take the good with the bad when you have me in your life.
So what? And your moving stuff. I mean, you'll do moving for a first-time home buyer in an apartment. Because this is not just for high-end property moving. People just don't have just high-end properties that want to move. So if they have apartment complexes. Or in their apartment, if they're in a small rental, you guys will handle that move as well.
And a lot of people think we won't because we are a bigger moving company, but we will. And what ends up happening is when those type of first-time home buyers are always on a budget.
Sure.
And I don't like booking anything over the phone. But a lot of movers, when they hear that one-bedroom apartment, 600 square feet, they'll book it hourly over the phone. But they didn't hear that it was on the 5th floor walk-up, right? So they're going to send 2 men out there for 600 square feet, and they'll end up canceling the day of. I can't tell you how many same-day moves I've gotten in the last year because of that with first-time home buyers.
Okay.
Where I mean at least 20. At least 20 where I've had the realtor call me in a panic.
Right.
And speaking to the customer and I get a crew out there. It might be in the evening time, it might be, whatever, but it's been when you hire those $75 movers, you get what you pay for.
Sure. So the business that you work, okay, because I know all my sons, you guys handle direct-to-consumer type marketing. You have obviously the relationships through all these sporting franchises, which I know you work in as well, but you also work with real estate agents.
Right.
right? So that is a big source of referrals into All My Sons, right? And what do you do there? What's the how do you bring value to them so that they feel confident to refer you guys for their clients?
So one, my promise to every referral partner and realtor that I work with is that they never want to refer movers because movers across the country just have a bad name.
Okay.
So it's my promise to all of them, if something happens, that customer's going to have my cell phone number, and I'm going to work on it diligently until it's fixed. Because people don't get upset things happen. People get upset that they can't get a hold of the person that sold them the move, or the
100%,
company,
yeah.
or they're getting hung up on, or whatever the case is. And then I want to help them grow. So whether it's co-marketing something with them, sponsoring an event, a client appreciation, a housewarming, sitting in an open house with them, and just being creative with them. Thinking outside the box. That's really, the value that I can bring to them, and showing them different ways to do that. So it's fun. It's a good time. It really is.
What's having, because I mean that's where you spend a lot of your time, right? And you see a lot of real estate agents come and go in the industry and all that kind of stuff. I mean, what's a good piece of advice that you could give a real estate agent to really have good success in what they're doing?
They need to have a mentor that knows what they're doing. They need to have a mentor that will spend time with them, not just have a conference call with them, or just, they need to be FaceTiming with them, taking them on different appointments with them. So definitely find a mentor. And you got to find the right fit of a brokerage. Someone that has a lot of support.
Yeah, so a brokerage is a big thing, right? You got to find the right brokerage, and then I agree with the mentor deal. There are a lot of agents out there, and they don't always know everything. Which even after 22 years in my space, I don't know everything, right? So that's not to say that the new ones aren't going to be as valuable and as ready to take on and serve other potential clients. Because I mean, I tell them the best way to be a 22-year veteran in the business is come with enthusiasm. If you bring enthusiasm, you bring excitement and passion for what you do, it's contagious, and people they want that in their life. The 22-year veteran sometimes gets lazy and they just rest on the fact that they've been doing it for 22 years. And that's some of the things that drives me every day is, while I've been doing this for 22 years, I know somebody can take business away from me. And I get up every day like my back's against the wall, like I'm about to go live in the car, right? I mean, I really do feel that way, and it continues to drive and push me so that it never happens. It's not going to happen. It's not an option. But if you get lazy and rest on the fact that you've been doing this for so long and you have all these wonderful things, it can be easily taken away. And so I get up and I bring the same level of excitement and passion and enthusiasm that I tell newer people to do, because I know that I don't want them taking the business from me.
You have to reinvent yourself almost daily, if not weekly. Like you got to be a better version than you were yesterday. And there's so many quotes in my head that I think of every day. Like success leaves clues. My dad says that all the time. Success leaves clues. So I always want to be learning from people that are smarter than me. I never want to be the smartest person in the room. So I always want to be learning from other people. And when I kind of dominated the real estate industry in Florida and taking over here, I was really like, okay, we need to do something more. And that's really when I started being like, we need to be a pillar in the community. We need to start working with charities. So that's when I started wrapping 26-foot trucks pink and partnering with breast cancer charities and doing, the whole charity move and charity drive. And it's been great, but you always have to be thinking outside the box, always. And
what's something outside of the box that you can help the real estate community? Should they be doing? I'm assuming producing content. What would you recommend, to them? We talked about getting into the right brokerage, getting into a mentor, but there's disruption that's out there, and we talk about disruption a lot. We talk about the companies that are working against them, right, to cut fees or and they provide less service when they do that. What should they be doing to stay relevant in their marketplace?
They need to they need time management. I mean, they need to keep a schedule. And if they don't have a schedule for every day and they're looking at a calendar, they're not going to be as productive as they want to be.
Okay.
Take as many educational classes as they can, and especially learn your social media and learn where your audience is on social media. Is it Facebook? Is it Instagram? Is it both? Like, who are you targeting?
Right.
They need to set goals. They need to set short-term goals and long-term goals. You can't just wing it. I know a lot of times you and I do.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, it's a calculated wing. It's a
Yeah,
calculated wing. I pretty much know my exits when I walk into a room. It's still calculated, but I do wing a lot, right? But that's what we do. It's not scripted, and people see, you know, the real us and the authenticity that we bring to the table by just winging some things, so they don't feel it's scripted.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, no. Going back to that point, I mean, you know. You want to have your day mapped out before you go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, that next day. I mean, you have to be that organized, that detailed. I mean, we talk about like content creation and understanding social media, whether it's Facebook, it's going to be Instagram. You need to have, in my opinion, you need to have a production schedule. I mean, if you're really that serious about putting things out there, then what does that production schedule look like? Do you want to have pieces of content that go out every single day? Do you want pieces of content that go out just 3 days a week? What does that look and feel like? I mean, we do. I mean, you know, we're really scheduled on our content. We have, you know, macro pieces of content that are big pieces, like our, you know, Mondays are our mortgage reports. We have Thursdays are our BobMortgage zones. We have Tuesdays, Wednesdays are content that goes out. This jam session, we have vlogs, Backseats with Bobs, which my wife wasn't really too thrilled with that name.
I love Backseats with Bob. I love Backseat with Bob. That's just, I mean, Jen needs to get over that.
I know. That's what I told her. It's going to be good. But you know, we have our big content pieces, and then you know it works well because then we can strip out smaller pieces, and we can continue that macro or micro pieces of content going forward. So we get more out of something that we're just documenting.
Right.
And it works. And you don't necessarily have to go to my level of doing that, but you need to be at some level, because if you're not working and using social media, you're not gaining the attention of your client. And if you can't gain their attention, you can't do business.
And being a realtor is expensive. It's not cheap, but I always tell realtors, you know, they're always like, we need money for this. And if you have a team of people that you use to get a deal through the door, a title person, a mover, a landscaper, an inspection person, you know, mortgage, if you're not utilizing them and you're feeding them and being their bread and butter, one of them every month, like, if you're not utilizing them and asking them to sponsor things for you, then you're missing the boat.
Right.
You should never have to pay for something, really. You should always be able to get someone to sponsor it if you're feeding them. And I tell realtors all the time, even top producers, I've bluntly looked at them and been like, oh, they said they wouldn't sponsor? And how much business do you give them? You need to find a new company.
Yeah, and you know, part of that too, depending on how that agent's business is coming to them, a lot of them do get it as referral only, which absolutely, you gotta figure out how you're gonna invest in that individual to help them continue to grow. Then there are those that just get it through buying business. And so my conversations with them is how do we flip it from buying business, like lead buying through these disruptors like Zillow or Realtor.com, into organic lead acquisition, which minimizes your lead cost, and it puts them in a more of a controlled environment and makes them feel more I guess positive about where their business is going, right? Because they're not dependent upon Zillow, you know, or Realtor.com, you know, feeding them. And so then it becomes our job to help them catch the fish that we're all going to be eating, not just eating what they've prepared.
Right.
And you know, those are interesting conversations, and the light bulbs start to, like, all of a sudden go off in their mind. They're like, okay, yeah, we need to be thinking about, you know, using content creation, using branding, those types of things to deliver business to us, versus having to go buy it. Because now you're building brand, you're building loyalty and good faith going forward with your audience, and that just continues to pay you for a lifetime. You know, you're not spending $30, $40, $50, whatever it is you're going to be buying a lead for.
Right.
Because those things don't, I mean, they're selling them to 3, to 3 to 5 agents and to 3 to 5 lenders, and everybody's just pounding them. And you know, the client's not really getting ultimately what we all want out of that, which is giving them a great experience.
You know, I call it grassroots when it's just relationship building.
Yeah.
And the realtors who are the most successful that I have ever interacted with, you know, obviously they're owning their own brokerages, they have teams, whatever the case is, but the most successful ones mastered grassroots and relationship building.
Yeah.
Mastered it.
Yeah.
And so that's really what realtors need to focus on is building that base of relationships, whether it's clients, whether it's vendors, whatever the case is, and putting themselves out there. They can't be afraid to put themselves out there.
No, and a lot of people do get it. I mean, like you see this, we got four cameras rolling, and a lot of people that are afraid to even be in front of one camera. And guys, this is your, I mean, all this stuff, right? This is your NBC, your Fox, your CBS, your ESPN. This is everything that you need. You don't need the whole setup that we have in this office, but this is everything that you need, and you just got to get comfortable recording video. And some of the best responses and engagements I get, honestly, do not come from a lot of our edited comment and high produced content. It'll come from me sitting here and holding this thing up and just doing a quick video about something, and I'll get more engagement from that than some of this really nice produced content. Thanks, Brandon. You know, and it's interesting, and it sees how people engage with you.
Right.
And I think the other thing that I want you guys to take away from that is, you know, be consistent with your content. Don't worry so much about how perfect the content is, right? A lot of people will they don't start something because they're afraid that it's not going to be perfect, and so they're working to make it perfect before they ever do it. And then what happens is they never do anything. Right. Just do it. Just put something out. And if it doesn't work or does not, because I put stuff out sometimes and it's not perfect, and people make a comment, hey, you said this wrong or whatever. I'm like, hey, great. And then tomorrow, guess what? I'm putting out some more content. I'll just re-say it again, and it'll be on record as me saying it correctly. Right. Right. But if you stick to consistency, you got to turn that like the ringer off maybe.
You know, I was a little shooken up from my accident this morning, like I wasn't paying attention.
You were. And I appreciate you actually still coming in after the accident and holding it together so that we could have this awesome jam session.
Love it.
Yeah.
I do.
No, I do really appreciate you coming in.
Oh.
As always, it means the world to me because you do bring a lot of value to your partners, okay? And I do consider myself one of your partners.
I consider myself your child, so.
I'm not that. Well, I guess I could be. Yeah, it is.
Let's be honest.
You are over half my age.
You and Jennifer, you know, Heather and Justin, like you gotta consider me like one of the kids when I'm around.
Well, no, I mean we love having you around because you do bring value every single time. There's not a meeting, there's not an event, there's not a conversation that is not moving us forward, and that is important to me and something that I want you guys to understand if you're out there looking for a partner in Jameson. She's always going to be challenging you to move forward in ideas and execution. You see us. We don't have any problem with those ideas and getting out there and having the big vision. You know that's with us, but I always enjoy being in the same room, in the same conversation with people that can equal that. So you've done an amazing job.
Thank you.
With that.
You know, it's funny, my partners in South Florida, they're so used to, hey, Jameson wants to do it? Okay, how much? All right, like, we're in, right? And here, it was like pulling teeth to get people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When I did the flag football tournament at the Star, like, people couldn't grasp just the media part of it. Like, they couldn't grasp it. And I'm like, why would you not want that? Like, you don't think it's worth your money?
You know, it's short term though. People see it as short term decisions. That's why they don't do video all the time. That's why they don't commit to the branding side of it, because they also expect something in return immediately. And so why do I do stuff like that? Why do I say yes to flag football? Why do I say yes to something that can go on the AT&T Stadium at Jerry World, right? Why do I say yes to those things? Is because I believe in the power of branding and what it leads to you over time. I may not win today, but I win every day thereafter. I win in the long term, right? The long play. Because I commit to stuff like that.
Right.
I commit to putting out video every single day, images, quotes, just content, right? Eventually, I win. You know, people that didn't want to meet with me 2 years ago will meet with me now.
Right.
People that won't meet with me today, I guarantee you they'll meet with me.
And there was a realtor out of the Keller Williams Frisco office, and I think we've only like commented on each other's posts, never have met. And he called me one morning a couple weeks ago. His daughter was driving a U-Haul down to Houston, and her friends were supposed to help offload, and she was freaking out because all of them had like bailed on her, and it was a huge U-Haul, and he called and he was like panicking. I'm like, it's okay, like let's call the Houston office,
right?
You know, so. And we ended up getting a crew out there when she arrived at like 5 or 6 p.m. and offloaded the U-Haul. But if I wouldn't put out content on my social media, he would have never contacted me.
Never known to contact
and he
you.
contacted me through social media. He didn't even have my number.
Yep.
So it's just, it works. It's not going to work today or tomorrow, but the stuff that he sees across the board, like that's why he contacted me.
Yeah, and people sometimes will contact us and contact me, not even about something I'm doing for them. Like I've had people ask me about loan questions and things like that. I'm not even doing the loan.
Right.
But they see it and they trust the content, and then they'll still ask, and they value the honest opinion.
Right.
Right. And as givers, well, sure, I'll give them the answer. I'll tell them what to do, how to do it.
Yeah.
Because I know over time, if they buy in the next house or whatever it is, they'll eventually.
And that's rare.
Back.
That's rare because the DFW market is so dog eat dog, and there's amongst the vendor world, there's no, it's a lot of like I'm okay helping other movers or giving content or whatever, and like it's very territorial, and it's just that baffles me sometimes. Like I wouldn't say I'm territorial because I know what I bring to the table. I bought the table. Okay. So.
Okay. You bought it.
So I'm not afraid. Go get another quote. Get 2 other quotes.
Sure.
Because we're not going to be the cheapest. We might be the most expensive, but I know what we're going to bring to the table, and
sure.
you know too. Let's be honest.
Oh no, I mean that's why every client we get, I mean they're getting you guys. I work really hard to make sure they get a quote because I find value in the services that you guys provide. I know that you understand you're an extension of my brand, much like I'm an extension of yours and you're an extension of Agents. We are an extension of each other's brands, so you're always going to work to make my brand look great. Okay, you're going to work to make that Agent's brand look great. And when you have partners that understand that's what it's about, then we all are going to win.
But can we talk about how you and I actually partner together and say thank you to our realtors that provide us with business?
It's my show, but go ahead, sure.
Okay, great.
So what do we do?
Okay,
so
we have some Bob Diggity events.
We do have some Bob Diggity.
Yeah.
Bob Diggity.
Bob Diggity.
Bob Diggity.
Why is it got to be all about you?
What about Bob?
I am your sidekick. But so a lot of people always are like, how can I get tickets? How can I do this? How can I do that? And I always am like, when was the last time you gave me a referral? Point blank, period.
Right.
So, that's how I love how you and I will play off each other and say, hey, I have this great event. Do you have people that you want to thank? Who do you want to invite? Who do you want to meet? And the next thing we have coming up is our SMU TCU tailgate.
Yeah, so the thing I saw in there, it says white out.
White out.
So does that mean I need to
You gotta wear white, boo-boo.
All white?
Yes.
I know you got all white.
I got all white.
Know.
I got all
From
white.
head to toe.
Mm-hmm.
It took me a little bit to get my white outfit together, but I
Okay.
finally put it together.
Okay.
Because I was told I had to wear a white dress with cowgirl boots. First of all, that baffles me wearing a dress to a football game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
I don't know. But I'm not.
Okay.
So, yeah, but that's how we say thank you. You know, the people and the realtors that Jennifer and I are inviting are people that provide us with business,
Yep.
some form of value, and that's how we want to say thank you. Come have a tailgate with us in a very VIP setting, and then come watch the game with us. So we love our referral partners, and we always want to be saying thank you throughout the year.
Yeah, and we have referral partners that either refer business to us or they're just cheerleaders.
Right.
Some of them actually, some of the people that we have do not have the business to refer,
Right.
or the volume to refer as not in units. But they are the biggest cheerleaders
And
for
the
our brand
introductions
and the
that they
introductions,
make.
right? That's what I mean. Yeah, they introduce us to a lot of people, and that's there's value in that. I gauge impact that way. Whether it's in referrals, it's in the cheerleading aspect of it. Are they really working as hard as what we do to impact people's lives? Are they working 10 times as hard?
Right.
Because if they'll work 10 times as hard, that means my investment's going to be 10 multiples of that,
Right.
and then ultimately we're always moving forward together.
Yeah, and I love that that with every time I ask you to do something, you know that I wouldn't ask you if I didn't think it was going to be value.
No, and I just keep saying
I
yes.
know you do.
I just keep
Even when
saying-
Jennifer says no, I'll be like, let me ask Bob.
Yeah, you can't go mom and dad on that one. She does sometimes. She's like, well, I don't know if that's a good
I
one.
tell you though, I'm like, Jennifer already said no, but let me run it by you.
Right. And what do I say? That's interesting. I like it. Yes.
Yes.
She's like, did you just say yes to Jameson again? And I'm like, yeah, why not? It sounds fun.
It always works out. Always. Yeah. it's
Well,
a
thank
good
you for coming. It was awesome. Hopefully, guys, we provided a lot
time. A lot of content.
a lot of value.
Yes.
We did provide content for an hour, but hopefully we provided value. I'm so thankful that you did not get hurt in the accident,
Yeah.
nor did the other gentleman.
No.
And I think he has a deeper and stronger relationship with his fiance because he kept saying, I love you, I love you, I
I
love
mean,
you.
they
I'm
are
sorry.
so in love. It's
I'm
disgusting.
sorry I didn't tell you I love you when I walked out of the door, right? I mean, there's life lessons right there.
Bro, it's a bummer.
Okay.
Like-
I'm glad he's going to, hopefully the insurance takes over and,
Yes.
and you get that
Yes.
worked out. I'm so sorry he provided you his social security card. Please delete that. That's not good.
Listen, I need to find this boy.
Yeah, no, But guys, thank you so much for lending me your eyes and your ears today. I very much appreciate it. Give me some likes, some shares, some comments. If we didn't bring it today, you know what? We just weren't any good. I get it. Give me a 1 star, but hopefully we were great and you'll give us a bunch of 5 stars. Jameson, thanks for coming.
Thank
As
you.
always, I appreciate it. Guys, take care. Have an awesome day and make somebody else's day even better than yours. Take care.